Hello my dear students, welcome to computer science class. In our previous video classes we have seen the disadvantages of email and we have started the topic that is important terms related to the internet. In that we have already completed with the web page. So before we proceed with the next important term, let us have a quick glance on what is this web page, because further we are going to again use this terminology as web page. So just we'll have a quick glance on the definition of web page. So what is this web page? It's a web document. So this is a example of the web page, okay, wherein my web page name is information queue. All right. So this is a web page which is also been referred as a web document. Now this web document, I could access it through a web browser and it is being displayed on either on your mobile device or onto your monitor. Alright. So what kind of language has been used to design this web pages? Here we have used as HTML or XHTML we can use. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language and XHTML stands for Extensible Hypertext Markup Language. Any of these programming language. Usually the web pages will be designed by using HTML or a XHTML format. These web pages may consist of text, audio file, video file or any other image file. Apart from this, it may also contains the hyperlinks. What is hyperlinks? Hyperlinks are those links which will help the users to navigate from one page to the another page. Okay, so let us move on to the next important term, that is website. So what is this website? Website is actually referred to as the collection of web pages. So when you visit any website, it may have more than one web pages into it. So therefore, we have the definition of website to be as it's a collection of web pages. If you carefully observe here, see here it is given. Website name is Wikipedia. Alright. And this usually this particular website has to be hosted on at least one of the web server. Okay, what is the purpose of hosting that onto the web servers? It will make the, allow the users to access this particular website over the internet with the help of an internet address called as an URL. Alright. So usually the website have to be hosted at least on any of the web server. Now what is this web server? See, web server or the server machine is the one which will provide the web pages, requested web pages by the client machine. Suppose if a client machine requests for any of the web page, alright, then the server machine will reply it back by providing the requested web page. So that is what is the web server. So we need to host the website onto the web server so that we can easily access that particular website over the internet with the help of URL. URL actually stands for Uniform Resource Locator. Now look at this particular example. This is an URL which is also being referred to as an internet address or the web address. So herein I should actually give the website name. What is the website name of this particular website is? That is Wikipedia. I had given as Wikipedia. I had got list of different types of website names. In that I have chosen this particular website name. That's how I'm able to see this particular website called as an Wikipedia. I hope you are able to understand. Alright. Let us move on to the next important term, that is web browser. But before we move on to the next important term, these were the points what we have discussed. Alright. So all the publicly accessible websites are collectively makes the World Wide Web. So there is no any specific number of websites available over the internet. Internet doesn't have any geographical limitation. So the collection of all whichever publicly accessible mean the sense what? So the websites which are being accessed by the public, okay, so collectively make the World Wide Web. Alright. Now this is URL, an example for the URL. So actually here we need to enter the website name. So you just need to enter the website name as Wikipedia and just click and enter. You will be getting some list of website names you will be getting. In that, if you click on any one, so it will take you, that will be an hyperlink that will help you to locate that particular website. Alright, and then that particular website will be opened onto your computer system. This is a protocol known as Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. Okay, this is a domain name. This is a website name now. In this particular example, businessinsider.com is an website name, and this is the further path. Alright, and the web page is organized tabs. So this is a web page. Alright. Here also we have another example. You can see this is a protocol. Okay, techtarget.com is our website name, and this is the path where exactly that website is placed. Now let us move on to the what is web browser. So this web browser, it was actually invented in the year of 1990 by Sir Tim Berners-Lee. Alright, so this actually web browser, initially it was being referred as www, that is World Wide Web, and later it was being renamed as Nexus. So some of the examples of web browser you can see here, that is Opera, Google Chrome, Safari, Mozilla Firefox, Internet Explorer, okay, Microsoft Edge. These are some of the examples of this web browser. So what is this web browser? Web browser, we can refer it as an application software, okay, which will help to retrieve, presetting and traversing the information resources onto the World Wide Web. This means what actually? These are the web browsers which are application software, okay, which will help you to retrieve any information that you want to see over the internet. It will help you to preset. You can make the formatting changes and all. You can have your own data over any of the website. Alright, it will even help you to traverse in the sense moving from one web page to the another web page by using the hyperlinks, okay, in order to have the resources over the World Wide Web. Alright, so this means what? It's application software designed enable the users to access the information, to retrieve the information, to even view the documents, and can even navigate from one page to the another page by using the hyperlinks. Okay, so usually the information resource has been identified by an URL. See, suppose if you are in searching for some information you are searching for, alright, so you will enter your whatever the search information you want, you will enter it in some of the browsers. Some maybe you are using the Google Chrome. In the search engine you will enter the suppose if you are finding the computer meaning of the word as water, if you try to enter that one into the search engine, and when you click as enter, you will be getting some list of websites, isn't it? And when you click on that particular website, it is actually the URL which will locate about that particular information, and once the URL will locate that particular information, then that particular web page will be displayed onto your desktop or the laptop or the mobile devices, whichever you are using. So therefore the information whatever you are searching might be an image file, it might be a video file, or any other piece of content. Irrespective of whatever the files you are asking for, this web browser will make it available with the help of an URL, because it's a URL, Uniform Resource Locator, which will identify the resource, and then the resource in the sense whatever the request you are making for, that's what we call it as a resource, or the information resource you can say, that will be made available onto your monitor. I hope the concept is clear. Now let us move on to the next important terminology, that is HTTP. This HTTP, it is actually stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. In most of the URL you have seen, it has been started as http:// isn't it? And then followed by www. Then followed by the domain name. Domain name is nothing but the website name, isn't it? So this HTTP is a protocol, okay, that will help you to exchange the information or transfer the hypertext. This HTTP protocol was being coined by the person known as Ted Nelson. Okay, so therefore this HTTP is being defined as it's an application protocol for a distributed, collaborative and hypermedia information. Now what is exactly this distributed? This hypertext protocol is working, okay, with in conjunction with the different kinds of protocols it is working, and irrespective of whichever the machine you are using, whether it's a laptop, computer, okay, or any other devices, that protocol will be easily accessible. And then collaborative in the sense it is working with the different kinds of protocols like FTP, like it is working with the telnet computer in order to access the contents from the remote computer. It is helping you to upload or download, okay. Plus it is also supporting for hypermedia information, okay, hypermedia information wherein it is supporting for audio file, video file or any other different kinds of files what you are been accessing for. So therefore hypertext transfer protocol, it's an application protocol, okay, which is distributed, collaborative and hypermedia information systems. Now this HTTP acts as a foundation for the data communication. Data communication in the sense where there is an extensive exchange of information takes place over the internet. So this HTTP protocol will act as a base, or it will act as a foundation for having the data communication over the internet, so that it would help you to exchange or transfer the hypertext. Hypertext in the sense what? Any media files. Media files in the sense any audio or video files or any animation, graphics files it will support for. So without this hypertext transfer protocol, we cannot have any exchange of information over the internet. This is the basic protocol that is required in order to access or upload or any download any information over the internet. I hope you are able to understand the importance of hypertext transfer protocol, and mostly you see this hypertext transfer protocol in the internet address or the web address called as an URL. All right, so the HTTP protocol, earlier we were able to see it in the URL like first HTTP. Now when you observe your websites or any web page, if you observe, you will not be able to, this HTTP will not be able to visible because encryption has been done. Okay, they are provided with an encryption. And then there is another form of this HTTP. So if we want any security or any privacy to the content what is being present into that particular web page and all, then we have the HTTPS, that is Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. Alright, so this HTTPS will provide an encryption, security as well as privacy to the content what has been there in the web page. That's how the protection or the security is being provided for the contents over the internet. Okay, now let us move on to the DNS, that is Domain Name System. I hope you have some idea about what is the domain name system. Now what is this domain name system? Domain name system, it mainly translates the domain names to the numerical IP addresses for the purpose of locating the computer services and the devices worldwide. So this domain name will help you to translate whatever the domain names to the numerical IP address. Now what is this domain name to numerical IP address? Numerical IP address, what I am referring is the IP address which is in the form of numerical, that is in the form of numbers. See, whenever I am requesting any for the Facebook page or something, what I will do, in the URL I am going to type as www.facebook.com. Now this facebook.com is a domain name. Actually, instead of that facebook.com, we should actually provide the IP address. Similarly, if I want YouTube, then I should actually provide the IP address of YouTube. Then if I want any particular website name like Wikipedia, they are also having their own IP address. Actually, I should give their IP address. Is it possible for us to remember the IP address of all the different kinds of websites? It's highly impossible, isn't it? So therefore, instead of IP address, we are actually using the domain name system. That is, domain names we are using. But the computer will not understand that. Computers will identify the other devices over the internet only through the IP address they will identify. Okay, based upon the IP address only, the computers will communicate with each other and they will share the information or they exchange the information. So there is something known as domain name system. Whenever you type as an www.facebook.com over the URL, there is something domain name system will identify, it will convert that domain name called an facebook.com into an IP address. So when it will convert into an IP address, then the computer will start locating that to any of the server where there is a IP address of facebook.com. Once the match has been found, your request for the login page will go to the web server. Web server in turn, okay, it will provide a request back with a login page onto your desktop computer system or laptop or the mobile device whatsoever you are using. See, even when the web server is replying back to you, it will reply based upon your IP address only. So this domain name system, in order to help for the people, we are unable to remember the IP addresses of all, we are using the domain names. So this DNS will actually convert all those domain name to the IP address so that they will help easily to locate the computer services and the devices worldwide. Computer services means whatever you are requesting for. Like Facebook is one of the computer service, or you can even refer it as a resource also. YouTube if you want to open, that's your request. It's a request, or you can refer it as computer service or even the resources. Devices in the sense, which two computers wants to communicate with each other. They even have to be located. They even have to be identified with the help of IP address itself. Now let us see this example here. See, when you type as www.example.com, this domain name, this is actually the domain name, example. Okay, this is actually the domain name. This is website name. So this website name, when you type it in the URL and send it, this DNS will convert this, or it will translate this domain name to a numerical IP address. Clear? Now, this actually, for an example, how we use or refer to the phone directory in order to find out the phone numbers. The same way, the DNS could be visualized as the phone book for the internet. So that will translate the domain names into the IP address. Now this domain name have to be updated in order to locate the services over the internet, so that the users or people make use of that URL and the email address without knowing how the computers would actually locate the services. See, when this domain name is working at the behind, the people like we will never get to know what exactly happening, how the computers are locating the services over the internet. We will not get to know. We will directly make use of the URL, and we will directly make use of some email addresses, or some directly we may use some website name, and we will enter. But actually the domain name system will be converting all the domain names into the IP addresses. I hope the concept of DNS is clear. Look at this particular example here. So this is a user who wants to open the website named as www.amazon.com. When he enters into the URL, his request will first go to the DNS server. DNS server will identify, it will translate this domain name to the IP address, and that particular IP address will reach to your system. And then again that request will go to the particular server, the Amazon.com server it will go, and whatever you are requesting in the Amazon website, okay, it will be given as a response back to your computer system. If you carefully observe, it makes an HTTP request. HTTP request in the sense, whatever request, suppose if you are going to purchase any of the product or clothing or any of the accessories, if you want to purchase, then whatever you are requesting for, it is actually the HTTP protocol will take your request to the server. That is why it is said as HTTP request. And looking at your request, the server also will send a reply back, no, in the form of the web page. So that response it will be again with the help of the protocol known as HTTP. So whatever the communication will happens over the internet, that is because of the presence of the protocol known as HTTP, that is Hypertext Transfer Protocol. That is why I said HTTP will act as a foundation for the data communication. So everything will be in the form of HTTP request and the HTTP response back to you. So all this conversion will be done by the DNS server, that is domain name system server. I hope domain name is clear for you. Moving on to the next one is Uniform Resource Locator. So this Uniform Resource Locator, it is, as I said, it's also known as the internet address or the web address. So it's a kind of specific character string that provides a reference to a resources. Reference in the sense that would help you to locate the request what has been made by the client machines. Okay. Now usually where do you find this URL? In the web browsers, the URL of a web page will be always displayed on top inside an address bar, isn't it? Now here comes an example, like this is this particular complete address we will be placing into a URL which has been appeared at the top inside an address bar of any of the web page or any of the web browser. Now this URL actually, it is technically we can call it as URI, that is Uniform Resource Identifier. But Uniform Resource Identifier, which is also called as actually URN, Uniform Resource Name, okay, that will help you to locate the services over the internet. Okay, now here is an example. This is a URL where it will be appearing at this particular internet address, isn't it? So www, this is a HTTP protocol, www.google.com. Okay. Initially it was being called as URI, Uniform Resource Identifier. What Uniform Resource Identifier is the one wherein it will identify where exactly the google.com is there. Your request will be sent to the whenever you open a Chrome as a browser, you want to open in that browser, it might be different search engine might be there. It might be ask.com. Okay, you have a different kinds of search engine, but you want to open the Google Chrome, you want to open the Google as a search engine. So you will type it in the URL here like this. Alright. So with the help of HTTP protocol, your request will go to the DNS server. It will convert the whatever the domain name here you have given, it will convert to the IP address. Okay, again it will go to the web server. There it will see your request what is there, which is in the form of HTTP request, and then it will reply you back with the Google home, it will give you the Google home page. It will send you as a reply back. Then you will be able to see this particular Google home page. I hope you are able to understand. Now let us move on to the next one, that is search engines. See, web browsers and the search engines are different. Now what is this search engine? Search engines are nothing but these are the software codes that help you to search for any information over the World Wide Web, or you can refer it as an even internet also. So example, Google, Yahoo, Bing, these are some of the search engines. Chrome is a browser. I hope you are able to understand. Mozilla Firefox is a browser. Alright. So if you want to search for any particular information, then we have to use the search engine. So search engines are referred to be as a software code that would help you to search for any information over the internet. When you search for any information, how it will result? So usually the search results are being generally presented in the line of results. Often we refer it as an SERPs, that is search engine results page. Let me show you here an example. See, Google is a search engine wherein I have typed as I want the meaning of water. So when I type this one, I'll be getting series of, search results. Okay, these are said to be, the search results are generally presented in the line of results, and these are said to be as search engine results pages. Now these search engines, okay, like Google, Bing, Yahoo and all, they will try to fetch the data from the database. Now what is this database? Database is nothing but it's a huge collection of data which has been systematically arranged in the servers. So whenever you make a request, the request may go to the database and fetch the data, and it may result in the as a response back in the form of web page onto your system. So it may try to, search engine may try to fetch the data from the database, or they may even access it from the directories also. These search engines also provides the real-time information which may contains any kinds of image, information, audio file, video file or any other types of files which can be displayed into the web pages. Some of the examples of this search engines might be Yahoo, okay, Google, Baidu, Bing, Yandex. All these are some of the examples of the search engines. Just have a, you might get confused what is the difference between a web browser and a search engine. See, a web browser is any program that is used to visit any of the websites, whereas the search engine is a website that allows you to look for some specific websites or the information based upon certain keywords or any other criteria. In order to visit any particular websites, then you are using the web browser. But in order to search for any particular information or a website, then you are using the search engines. Examples for the web browsers, as we know that in Internet Explorer, Safari, Firefox and Chrome. But examples for search engines are Google, Yahoo, Bing and Ask. These are ask.com. These are some of the, Ask. These are some of the examples for the search engines. I hope you are able to understand. Next we shall move on to, what do you mean by surfing on the internet? See, surfing on the internet, in the sense, it means to move from one place to another website or the place over the internet, searching for the topics of interest. Now surfing, what is the difference between surfing and browsing? See, surfing is actually, you will not have a specific intention to search any specific information over the internet. You just, as per your interest, you will just open any of the website or any hyperlink, and then again you may move on to some another web pages. Unintentionally you keep on moving from one page to the another page, and virtually by the time you may find certain interesting topics. So unintentionally you are actually searching for any information, and you may land up with having some interesting topics, and then that kind of searching, we usually refer it as surfing on the internet. Browsing, in the sense, what intentionally you have some specific kind of information that you want to search, or you want to get for some information over to that particular topic, then you will start browsing based only upon that particular information what you want. Surfing is what, like, you doesn't want to specifically, you're not searching for any information, you're moving from one website to the another website, or one web page to the another page, and somewhere you may find some interesting topic. So that is what's the difference between surfing and the browsing. Alright, so the links on each page enable to start virtually anywhere onto the web and eventually find some interesting pages at the end of surfing. So the term surfing is actually unidirectional type web browsing, in which the users, it will allow to jump from one page to the another whimsically, in the sense, like unknowingly you may go visit some different kinds of website. Okay, where in case of browsing, it is exactly opposite to that, wherein you are searching for the specific kind of information. Alright, I hope you are able to make the difference between what is surfing and the browsing. Okay, so for today we have seen the different terminologies related to the internet. In our next video class, students, we shall start with the introduction to the HTML programming language. Thank you, students. Take care of yourself.